Hi guys, welcome to the sixth chapter of our human figurative drawing, which is drawing the lips. So far, we have done the eyes, the nose, and now we will do the lips. We'll do it like more anatomically. I know you can already draw the lips, or maybe you don't know how to draw the lips, so this tutorial will definitely and this chapter will definitely help you how to draw the lips more anatomically. Let's get into this, and before we start making our lips, just again, I hope you are holding your pencil as far away from the tip, maybe little bit maybe at the center, or little bit far away from the center, not at the end of the at the other end of your brush or pencil. And also make your strokes like this. Make your strokes like this, more fluid. When you make a circle like this, don't do this, you know, spending a lot of time doing, making perfect lines. Don't make perfect lines. We are not looking for that. So let's start with let's start with our journey of making lips. And it's very simple, guys. It won't take much time. So this is the reference I'm using, and let me choose another pencil. So you can so I remember I told you to make a circle for the mouth, so you can remove that from your figures from now on and add the shape which we are doing now, and also try to make your lips the way we will do it now. So first make a cylindrical form like this, maybe a can, like a small can, food can maybe. And oops, sorry, a can like this. I'll give it a three-dimensional kind of. So can, it has a open, upper surface, lower surface. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because this thing is inserted inside the nose, and this one is inserted in the jaw. So try to make try to understand it in this way, in a more cylindrical way. Then the second thing you want to do is to give the direction, like a little bit direction. I will tilt it a bit. And also, you know if you remember, maybe something like this will be the center of your lips, like this one, for this thing. So after this, once you do that, we have to do something similar which we did with the eyes. Carve out your lips. Just make a, like something is filled in this can, like this, right? Make something like this. So guys, after this, make a straight line in the middle for the lips. So I won't be telling you the name of muscles or fats this time. It's not that important. Maybe and most probably we will do that in our later studies of anatomical drawing, when we'll go into anatomy more deeper. So in the middle, there is this fat, or there is this shape which is like a heart, something like this. It's same every time. So try to follow these steps. You will be able to, make your lips much better anatomically. And give it a line. It has a depth, like it's going inwards now. And there is this another fat which actually goes to at the center of this heart, and is shaped something like this. Similarly in the other direction as well. So they are actually overlapping. Maybe I will use different color to tell you. Yeah, so this fat is this, and there is this another fat like this, right? And there is two more fat, or two more shapes for the lips, which is like this. So something like this. And after this, this thing is actually there is there is this kind of, this is called the cupid's bow in the lip. It's like a bow, its shape is like a bow. Can you see? It's like a bow. If I'll put an arrow in this, so we are not going to put arrow obviously, it was just to help you to understand. This is the cupid bow. And if I will extend it little bit, of course you don't have to, it's for your understanding that it's the lips ridge here, like the eyebrow ridge we used to make, right? This portion. Similarly, there's a ridge for the lips also. After this, once you have done this thing, given shape to your lips, next step will be to make a philtrum, which is basically this kind of a a small hole you see just below your, it's not a hole obviously, little bit or little bit, your, it's a plane which is pointing inside, right? It has some depth usually, it's bit, let's say it's circular, and there are two planes above your lips, like this is one plane and this is another plane. Similarly, there are two planes, and below your lower lip, which is one is like this and another one is like this. The key to remember is this is very easy. The upper one goes, its arch is like that, and the lower one arch is like that. So what happens? This is the cupid, right? We do cupid's bow in the lips. So that's how you get those. You always, if you are wondering, this portion is usually very dark. If you will see a lot of people lips in the references or in photographs or in real life also, whenever light hits the face, and this portion. So how does this portion works? I'll tell you. So when in our example, light is coming upward from the right side, right side, and little bit up from the upward direction from this. So what happens is philtrum and this small hole and this small curve, actually this small plane which has curve, whichever direction light is coming, the opposite side becomes dark. Oh, I'm so sorry, that side only become dark from whichever side it's coming, the light is coming. You have to understand, see, this is the curve. So when the light hits here, this becomes darker because light is not able to reach here, right? Light actually reflects here, so that's why it happens. So this portion becomes dark. That's it with the lips. There is one more shape which I forgot to tell you. So if you see at the end of the lips, there is always this portion is black, right? This portion usually black. So there is a bean like structure, like this bean like structure, and you have to understand it in more a three-dimensional way, right? Bean like structure, it's a little bit round in shape at the both end of the of your upper lips, where they end. So it's for your understanding, actually, why this portion becomes dark. So that's it. So this is the bean like structure, and So now we will make our, gives more finishing to our lips. So let me choose another layer. I will decrease the opacity, choose a darker shade of my pen, and now we will work on this thing, right? So what we will do now, we will give it a more, three-dimensional look and give a little bit of shadows. So this is our lips, and see the heart shape, something like this. See this. So now you have to, there is a guys, there is a T curve actually. These are called T curves. These curves are found all over your body, and they are very important. This is the T curve. This is another T curve. This give lot of, three dimensionality to your drawing, and you will understand these curves more you draw these curves, right? And this portion, if you remember, because of this bean like structure which is, pinching inwards, that's why this portion becomes dark. And for the lower fat of the lips, right, this is the shape. It's better if you understand. See how lips are much better after you know your drawing more anatomically, you understand it more anatomically. So you can give it a little bit, shading to give it a more better, three-dimensional look. See, use hatching, cross hatching at this point of our practice, and I will give some, mid-tones to this thing. We will learn about shadows and everything in our, later classes. Let's first understand the body and a little bit anatomic, anatomy related to our human body first, and a little bit of tone to this. So, and if you remember, this portion is dark. Why? Because of this arch which becomes here because of these two planes and the, if you remember, this structure of the lower lip. So also light is coming from the upward direction, so this thing becomes much darker. And this philtrum and this, concave kind of structure, this portion will be dark because light is coming in this direction, right? Just adding few lines or few, shading to the drawing we have done so far. This portion, right, we were talking about this, that bean like structure which is responsible for that rounded kind of a dark tone at the end of the lips. So see this, it becomes so easy once you understand the anatomy behind your drawing. And I'll give a little bit of shadow to this thing as well. Let's remove the, previously. See, this is our lips. Quite easy to make lips actually. Let's do another quick example. And with this one was very very simple because no foreshortening is happening and all. Let's make another example, and maybe we will take this one. There's a lot of foreshortening happening in this one. So you will know how to do like the how to make the extreme lips, which in which some part is visible, some is not. The one which is visible, it's little bit of exaggerated. So let me increase the size of the reference a bit so you can see the lips. Yeah. So I'll choose another layer. Now I will draw quickly. I will draw things bit quickly. So because we are running out of time. So again, the cylindrical kind of shape I'm going to make. And once I made that, I'll give direction to the lips, right? This is where, this is the lips. Now I will carve out my lips out of this can, a cylindrical structure if you want to say. Something like this, something like this. Let's choose another pencil to give shapes now. And so the first shape in the center, as we already know, it's kind of a heart. And so the part which is visible, this part is more visible because of foreshortening. So this muscle, I'm sorry, this fat or this part of the lips or this shape becomes more bigger, like this becomes very very small. See, such extreme angle, things become a bit tricky. So you have to draw more and more so that you understand it, not just learn the figurative drawing by doing some particular examples, and you think that you know the human anatomy. But the case is you have to practice more and more so that you can draw whatever you want. You can draw from your imagination as well, whatever you like. So there is this pin like structure which we talked about right here, which is a little bit rounded in shape like this. And this one won't be visible because of the foreshortening. The bow like structure is like this, Cupid's bow, which we call it. And the two planes, the two planes like this, right? Like this, these are the two planes. And light is coming from here. So this portion, this side will be much darker, right? Even if you can't see these things, try to make it, since you already now know all these things. Try to make these things, because we are doing the human anatomical study. This is not in college. This is not a college assignment. You are practicing. The two lower planes give this kind of arch shape. The upper one is this shape, this, and the lower one this. Now I will just decrease the opacity and and choose a darker shade and draw over this thing. So see, this is the heart which makes the Cupid bow. And see, the T curve which we were talking about. This is the T curve, right? Similarly, this portion is so small, so you should know what's happening here. Just don't make whatever you want to. I mean, you can, but for now let's stick to the process a bit, so you will understand these things much better. Once you get command on over all these things, then you can do whatever you want. And these two, this is the lower lip, and a little bit of shadow in the philtrum area, or this curve which is just below your nose. And this portion is dark, as you can see in our reference also. And right, let's do a little bit of shading using hatching and now cross hatching to make it more darker, like this. See, this area is totally dark, but you know now that what's the shape behind this, you know, behind this dark shadow. And since this portion will be a little bit more darker because of the light source, few mid-tones, similarly with the lower lips as well, something like this. Right, for now just stick to this, don't try to make all the, you know, light and shadows and all, because you now you will have less time. So from each class, from each chapter, every time you progress to a new chapter, you get like more, you know, work on your human figure. So be conscious about that. And in order to do a lot of studies, you don't have to make everything, just make with what is important for us, right? This is because of the jawline, this curve you are wondering about. Let's not make that for now. And since light is coming, it's very light from this direction. Yeah, a little bit more. This portion is a little bit much darker. So that's show a little bit of gradation also in your shading. It gives much more three-dimensional look. See, this is the lips we have achieved. So that's it guys for the lips. Try to follow these steps, and if you haven't watched previous video, watch those videos also, so that you know how to first make head, then put the nose, eyes, and then the lips. So I hope you learned something in this chapter, from this chapter. I will see you in our next chapter. Maybe I will do ears, or maybe I will do a head study with all the things which we have done so far, to just give, you know, to just revise everything a bit. I will see, I will think about it. And so thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do that as well. I will also get a little bit of encouragement to make more of these. Anyways, have a nice day guys. Bye bye.